Author's note. This video is my review of The Batman vs. Dracula, based on Batman by Bob Kane and Bill Finger, and Dracula by Bram Stoker, directed by Michael Gogin, published by Warner Bros. Animation and DC Comics, available on HBO Max, starring the voices of Reno Romano, Tara Strong, Tom Kenny, Alastair Duncan, Kevin Michael Richardson, and Peter Stormare as Count Dracula, rated TV PG.
So the folk tales are true. There is another bat in Gotham.
Count Dracula, I presume.
Besides Zack Snyder's Justice League, I haven't done a single review of anything related to Batman this year. Well, let me fix that up with my review of The Batman vs. Dracula. Having escaped from Arkham Asylum, the Penguin's hunt for a treasure in Gotham Cemetery leads him to the reawakening of the Prince of Darkness himself, Count Dracula. Will the Batman best this legendary vampire, or will the undead send the Dark Knight to an early grave?
Not dead. Undead.
I know what you're all thinking. The designs are not as memorable as Batman the Animated Series. That's true, but at the same time, it does carry a similar charm from other cartoons like Men in Black, the Animated Series, and Jackie Chan Adventures. And sure, some of the villain designs look different from Batman the Animated Series, but they all have their own charm. And say what you want about the Joker's design, but at least that looks decent compared to Jared Leto's original design on the first Suicide Squad movie.
The more the Batman tries to protect Gotham, the more Gotham fears him. As if he were the son of Dracula.
On the flip side of the design, and this is judging it by the entire series instead of this movie alone, everything does feel almost close to Batman the Animated Series. First is rather obvious, the tone of the cartoon series. It's not as dark as the infamous Batman cartoon series, but it is dark enough to channel what makes The Dark Knight great. And second off, the animation is still as top-notch as ever, especially with the movements of Batman and Dracula. It's why I keep tuning into the Batman, regardless of what media it is.
Don't get caught in the rain without your straitjacket.
Batsy! You're such a card!
As I am new to the Batman cartoon series, I am aware that this version of Bruce Wayne is younger, rather new to the Mask of the Caped Crusader. But what I like about this version is while he is vengeance in the night, he still holds strong to his own code that he won't kill a living person. His facial expression when he saw the Joker fall into the river is a defining example. I also liked how real his relationship to Vicky Vale was compared to Tim Burton's Batman film. Overall, I actually like this take on Bruce Wayne in its own way. Tough on the outside, soft on the inside.
Breakfast in bed. Fresh squeezed.
While the Joker and the Penguin do play an important role in the story, they get sidelined by the Prince of Darkness. The Penguin ends up playing second banana to Dracula after he got hypnotized by the vampire. At least he did not end up a blood-sucking freak, and he still had his characterization despite serving the Count. But that paled in comparison to the Joker, especially when that clown ended up becoming a vampire and later suffered a withdrawal from a lack of blood. One of the rare times I felt sorry for the clown prince of crime.
And you are?
Alucard. Dr. Alucard.
Count Dracula has been known as one of the many iconic monsters in literature, movie, and video game history, and this film is no exception. Much like the Bela Lugosi variation, blending himself in under the name Dr. Alucard, all while he turns the living into the undead. The fights between Dracula and Batman are also worth watching, showcasing how the Prince of Darkness overpowers the Dark Knight. He even carries a small nod to his Castlevania counterpart, due to his own dearly departed wife. Even in the world of Batman, Dracula is still king of the monsters. The Batman vs. Dracula was a film I chose just for the sake of it, but it wound up being a nice choice, with a satisfying villain in the form of Count Dracula that pushes the Batman to his limits. I recommend checking this out if you're a fan of Batman or Dracula.